Hello friends, my name is Dr. Sangram Patil. I'm talking from United Kingdom. This video is about my own experience and experience of other people who want to travel to India and the difficulty they have faced and they will be facing in future. And for that I will discuss the current COVID situation, current COVID vaccination in different places, and what British government and what Indian government have recently done, and what the practical issues people traveling to India are facing, especially the Indians. We call them non-resident Indians. So for that, let me tell you, this is from our World in Data website. This is I accessed it today. Today, 7 to 8,000 people are actually dying from COVID all over the world. This is an average for last week. So every day, 7 to 8,000 deaths, and still around 4 to 500,000 people are turning COVID positive. These are reported cases all over the world. Total 500,000 every day. UK, this is almost towards the end of phase 3, wave 3 in UK now. UK saw about 50 to 55,000 cases every day. And now the cases are about 25 to 30K every day, daily positive. But the significant proportion of this, the population which used to need inpatient care and hospital admission, intensive care, and which resulted in deaths in previous waves, is not happening now. I work in emergency departments, I work in COVID ICU, so I know it from my own experience, and the national figures are showing the same. In US, around 200,000 people, they were getting positive at the peak of this wave, the current wave, but this has dropped to 100,000 positive every day at the moment. So US is much worse than UK in terms of numbers, though the population of US is bigger. India, in second wave, which is almost gone now, and in some states like Kerala, we saw a little beginning of a small third wave as well. There were 400,000 cases every day, but now it has dropped to 20 to 30,000 cases every day. So overall, the situation in UK and in India is pretty much in control. So that in many parts of India, the schools have reopened. There are temples being reopened in next few days in my home state, which is Maharashtra. And economy is almost opened up unrestrictedly, and UK is the same. There are no masks worn in many parts of England, though in Wales we are still wearing masks. US is still coming down, and it's still struggling in few states. So let's see about vaccination in brief. In United Kingdom, 72% people have been vaccinated. That's total vaccination, total population. Now the children's vaccination has started, and 66% of the total population has received 2 doses. This is from our World in Data. If you look at government of UK website, it will give you more specific numbers. So almost all the adults have been vaccinated in UK. US is similar, 63% total vaccinations and 55% all, full vaccination. In India now, second wave is still going away. There are still 25-30,000 cases every day, and there's still reported deaths from few states. So it's not completely gone. UK third wave is almost, it's going away as well. I won't say it's completely gone. So the things are pretty much settling in both UK and in India. And the main problem has been Delta virus, which was the culprit for second wave in India, the third wave in UK, and the current wave in US as well. And the third wave, which is expected in India later this month or maybe next month. Nobody knows how significant the third wave will be and whether it will really affect general population. But that is going to be because of Delta virus again. So Delta is a main culprit in most of these states. So what has happened now? British government has started opening up its borders to foreign nationals who are fully vaccinated and allow them to enter and stay in UK without requiring to go through compulsory home quarantine. And in doing so, they haven't done it for the people who travel from India, in spite of the fact that India has vaccinated people with Covishield, which is an Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, but British government has made it clear that they do accept the Covishield vaccine, but not the vaccination certificate. Now, I see this as a very silly point, because if someone has a Indian government issued vaccination certificate that mentions that person has received Covishield, then accepting the vaccine and not accepting the format of vaccine certificate is just a arrogance on the part of British government. I think this issue is just technical and it should be resolved in a matter of days, because if it doesn't resolve, then there are lots of issues, because there are lots of people who want to travel between India and UK. They want to take up their university admissions. The families of the students, they want to travel with students as well, and many people just want to go home and come back. So British government's this arrogant attitude approach has affected and negatively affected these travelers who want to come to UK for a very short trip. Because if you are making people stay here for 1 week home quarantine, then people have to just extend their trips. They have to make a longer trips, which is expensive. And in return for this British attitude, now Indian government has declared its new policy. Previously, until last week, when I saw my friends and colleagues visiting India, they were needed to do one COVID PCR test before boarding onto the flight, and then after arriving in India, they would do another PCR test on the airport. They would go home for 1 week, and then they were free to roam around freely, mix with people. So 7 days were needed for home quarantine. Now, Indian government wants these travelers to be home quarantined for 10 days, and this is just in return for British government's attitude decision. So this apparently looks like tit for tat decision, and many nationalists will be really happy to see this happening, and they will start praising governments. But on ground, this is actually affecting negatively to the families and people who have booked their journeys for a shorter duration, like 10 days or 12 days, and they want to go to India and come back. Now, I was planning to do a trip in later this month or maybe in December, and I was hoping this quarantine rule will go away, because I have received 3 doses of Pfizer vaccine, and this has been shown to protect me. This has been shown to reduce the infection because of me, and I'm completely okay. Scientifically, I'm safe to go to India and stay there, mix with people, and come back. But and that's why I'm expecting government of India to take away the quarantine rule. But what government has done is to reply back to British attitude. They have increased the quarantine period and made the rules more strict. Now, this doesn't affect British government. This doesn't affect British people, the local native British people. This affects the Indians who are staying here, the non-resident Indians or Indians who have become British citizens, those who want to go and see their families and do their important work back home in India. These people have to book longer duration, longer holidays, and that just wastes their money, wastes their leave, a quota of leave they have here, and many people just have to cancel and postpone the trips. So I think the arrogance of Boris government has been tackled by Modi government by its childishness. This is just harming your own people, restricting them from coming to India and staying and visiting their families and doing their important work. And there's no scientific logic behind Indian government's decision. They have said that this is because of the COVID situation in Britain and the COVID variants prevalent in Britain. But it is Delta variant which was first detected in India. Nothing different has happened in last few days for Indian government to take this stand. uh, which which is just harmful to Indians staying abroad and people who will want to go there in emergency and get their work done. It's just obstructive for Indian people. So friends, when the situation on both sides is improving in terms of COVID, virus prevalence, new cases, deaths, the vaccination has improved. The scientific logical step will be to get rid of quarantine measures in place and just follow other rules like social distance, wearing masks in a crowd, hand hygiene, and not home quarantining, because home quarantining in this situation will not be an appropriate step because of the fact that people are vaccinated and the virus is less prevalent in both societies, both in India as well as in UK. So my appeal to both governments, Boris Johnson government, is to please look into this and resolve this technical issue which makes Boris government look arrogant in its approach, and then it gives opportunity for other politicians from India, the government from India and the people and media in India to call this as a racist stand of British government. And on my sincere appeal to Modi government as well, that taking this unscientific, not based on data step to just fight back against British government stand is harming your own people, non-resident Indians who want to come and get their important work done, visit their families whom they have missed for last 2 years. So that is just making your own people suffer and nothing else. So I request Indian government as well to please take this unscientific, illogical step back and start thinking of getting rid of home quarantining if people are vaccinated and if their PCR test come negative. If you agree with my point, please do share this video with as many people in government and in administration as you know of. So the ground reality here, the problems faced by people of Indian origin and non-resident Indians here will be known to the government and administration in India, and they think of taking this illogical, unscientific, non-database step back. So that will help Indians. Take care. Bye bye.